Here's how Stephen King's It made over $100 million in just one weekend. But it's not for all the reasons you may think. From a social media beef with one of the most powerful men on the planet to VR and hidden drain surprises, here's how Stephen King's It pushed the societal boundaries of guerrilla marketing. For those that don't know, It is about a demonic alien clown named Pennywise that feeds on the fear and bodies of a small town called Derry. Despite this terrifying reality, a gang of kids called the Losers Club face their fears and fight the clown. On August 21st, 2016, horror movie marketing changed forever. Audiences could barely contain their excitement as initial footage was released for the film. But why were these trailers so effective at building a cult-like following? Despite audiences being familiar with the television adaptation, this portrayal revealed a more grounded, sinister reality. The believable costume design and setting helped viewers resonate with the experiences of characters on screen. Furthermore, the vintage aesthetic helped transport you to a different time. And although audiences were already familiar with the subject matter, this depiction was a grittier interpretation of Derry life that immersed viewers in the mystique of the supernatural. Therefore, the director structured camera angles to mimic the perspective of someone experiencing the horrors of their environment. And although this type of cinematography isn't unique to the horror genre, the marketing team made a concerted effort to make viewers feel like they were trapped in a nightmare that they couldn't escape from. But while these trailers were enough to threaten the clown industry and shock the general public, these previews were only the start of a viral marketing campaign that would transform the film industry. With so many box office failures in Hollywood, it's clear that audience engagement often determines the success of a movie. Therefore, the It marketing team chose an interactive approach to create immersive experiences for the viewer. And what better way to make you feel like you're attacked by a killer clown than to be dragged into a sewer? Which is where a new video game comes into play. At the end of August, Enter the Sewer was released with the film's promotional website. In the game, the goal is to collect a lot of balloons and not get eaten by a killer clown. However, once you open the game, you're gonna realize it's an underdeveloped Subway Surfer ripoff, or maybe it's 2D Temple Run. But there's a very real reason this game looks like someone spent $10 to make it. Interestingly enough, the geometric pixelated style was designed to mimic retro 80s arcade games. And meanwhile, Pennywise the Clown spends the whole game laughing at you as you plunge even deeper into the lore of Derry's dark underbelly. And if you thought dumpster diving wasn't extreme enough, for the diehard fans out there, you can guide Georgie's origami toy boat down a river of sewage. And although this imagery alluded to kidnapping and a killer clown, the visuals would continue to get more sinister. The studio did not hold back. In an effort to shock the world, the production company distributed missing children posters. These missing posters blurred the line between cinema and reality. In addition, these posters depicted the life experiences of characters within the film. By teasing audiences with character backstories, intrigue for the film only grew. And although this imagery is alarming, this controversy helped fuel public discourse online. But that was only the beginning. With so many horrible film adaptations of books, fans needed proof that It wasn't going to be another train wreck. To complicate the situation, fans were already divided by the character design for Pennywise the Clown. This polarizing imagery left audiences conflicted about the film's new direction. Furthermore, fans knew that there are some really good Stephen King movies and some really bad Stephen King movies. And this is why people had trust issues. The film adaptation of Stephen King's The Mangler is unforgivable, and Firestarter really isn't that much better. But movies like The Shining were revolutionary for cinema. So it's not surprising that passionate arguments dominated social media. Everyone had some kind of expectation. So naturally, fans eagerly waited to hear the author's opinion. Because Stephen King is the god of this twisted clown universe. How involved in the project was Stephen King? And was this movie just another cash grab? It's worth noting that Stephen King already had a history of disliking film adaptations of his novels. However, to many people's surprise, Stephen King blessed the film with glowing reviews. In a social media post, he stated that Andy's remake of It succeeds beyond my expectations. Relax, wait, and enjoy. When the guy who writes about preteen orgies and murder clowns tells you to take a chill pill, you calm down online. But Stephen's cultural impact went farther than most people could have ever imagined. You are bound to make headlines when you verbally spar with the President of the United States. In a series of inflammatory posts, Stephen King says that the former president banned him on Twitter. He announced this by saying, "Trump has banned me from reading his tweets. I may have to kill myself." Despite this provocative statement, Stephen King wasn't done expressing himself. He let the world know how he really felt in a statement reading, "Donald Trump blocked me on Twitter. I am hereby blocking him from seeing it or Mr. Mercedes. No clowns for you, Donald. Go float yourself." This tweet sent people into a massive frenzy. Telling someone to go float themselves is one of the most devastating playground insults. And as a result, the fallout was complete anarchy. However, what garnered even more attention was the promotional exhibits. If you're one of those crazy people who ignores all survival instincts and goes towards the scary noises in the horror movie, then the Neibolt House Hollywood exhibit is the place for you. The Neibolt House was a full-scale replica of the scary clown den. Fans could explore Pennywise's house, but given the history of murder, I don't think it's worth investing in this property. Needless to say, fans could experience the thrill of dim lighting, flashing monitors, cryptic sounds, and the most narrow corridors. And if you want to roleplay as a rat, you can crawl through the fake sewer. Fans who survived the haunted house could document their experience with the hashtag #WhereItLives. To be fair, my house would be messy too if I didn't know I was gonna have guests. However, physical structures weren't the only way Warner Bros. Captivated audiences outside of the big screen. In fact, one of the most innovative aspects of this marketing campaign was actually a smaller screen. To keep fans hungry for more, the It movie featured a virtual reality tour bus experience in San Diego. And it looked scary as hell. But in case you thought you could escape the clowns, there were several murals commissioned around the world, which, if you're afraid of clowns, made walking downtown very terrifying. No wall or bus station was safe. But this wasn't where the circus madness ended. The marketing department encouraged audience engagement with art challenges on Instagram. Fan Art Fridays was a reoccurring tradition that helped build a community. As a result, with so much fan interaction, the It official Instagram account grew to over 1 million followers. However, the most iconic example of guerrilla marketing was the booby-trapped sewers. Say what you will about this clown, but he really knew how to get around. Pennywise marked his territory all across the United States. Each sewer opening featured a bright red balloon and a text inscription with an audience call to action. The ominous message, "It's closer than you think," ignited social media. So how effective was this marketing campaign? And was it all worth it? Despite the controversy, it shattered box office records. During its opening weekend, the film grossed over $117 million. To put this monumental success into perspective, it became the highest-grossing September film of all time. Furthermore, overseas audiences couldn't get enough of the clown. The film made $62 million abroad in its opening weekend. Even though we live in a world where Marvel dominates the box office today, keep in mind that it was a rated R horror movie. And this is crazy when you consider that it was outselling PG-13 action movies with more broad appeal. There was nothing family-friendly about this movie. There's an audience that hates clowns forever now, and the clown industry would never recover. Yet, despite its disadvantages as a rated R film, the movie would quickly become Stephen King's most profitable adaptation. Furthermore, this commercial success made over $700 million worldwide. If there's one thing that the film proves, it's that a successful marketing campaign can make people interested in almost anything. Even a 1,180-page clown book that was written in the 80s. Follow the madness.